Hello crafty people, it's Sharon here and I'm back with a beautiful image which I started in my previous video, created by a lovely lady called Tamara, who you can find on Etsy under Arts by Tamara, and an Instagram at arts.by.tamara. Now this is an artist that I came across sort of just by chance, and I loved her imagery, and she produces beautiful digital images which you can buy on Etsy. So I have printed one here, and in my last video I started out by showing how I coloured the rabbit's fur and these clothes using a couple of alcohol pens and some pencils. So today we're going to finish off the clothing and also put some snowy ground in here and just finish off a few extra little bits and pieces. So I hope that you'll stick with me to do that. We're going to follow the same techniques as before, but of course you can go back and visit my previous video to see exactly how we got this far. But for now, let's zoom in. And I was undecided what colour I was going to go with for my second rabbit, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to go with a pinky reddish colour. So I am using Chenrui pens today for my alcohol portion, but you can of course use any pens that you've got. I've picked these because they are quite budget pens and readily available, so that means if you're new to alcohol colouring you will be able to get hold of some of these and try them out. So just getting straight into colouring here, I am going to start with my paler colour of red, which is number 3, and I'm going to just give my lovely little hat a colour all over. Now I mentioned on my previous video this is a digital image, so I printed it out on my regular printer on some smooth white cardstock, which is the best thing for alcohol pens. And I then left my printed image to dry for at least a day if you can, because what you will find is that the ink from the printer might run, so you really need to let it cure a little bit before you start colouring in if you can. So the other tip is to print using black and white, not the colour option. And also you can use the draft option, which means it lays down less ink. Meanwhile, I'm just going in with my darker colour now, which is number 5, and I'm just adding some shape by just swiping in gently from the side and letting it come to a natural end wherever it does. And there you can see we've got a bit of light and a bit of shade, but not that much differentiation. So what we're going to do is add a little bit of depth of colour again using some pencils. My pencils of choice today are Castle Art Soft Touch, which again are a fairly budget type of pencil, but quite, really nice to use for this type of thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a pencil or two to add some depth to this image. Now, a good tip if you're not sure about what pencils to use is just to colour some of your alcohol pen onto a spare piece of card, preferably the same sort of card you're using for your colouring, and then pick your pencils and then just start to add them in and see what they look like. So in the case of this one, I've got a darker red and an almost sort of browny red, and just doing a quick swatch here, I think they're going to look absolutely fine. So I'm coming in now with the lightest of my 2 reds. In this case it's alizarin crimson. I don't know if I've said that right. And I'm starting to add more shadow where I want it to be. Now this is a hat, and so I'm sort of, rather than doing the round colouring technique, I'm going from the edge to the middle in sort of swiping motions. And again I'm just letting streaks and lines go to the middle, which just adds a nice little bit of texture. So this hat's probably easier to colour than this first one because it's just, a straight up hat. There's no pleats or anything to deal with, so we can just treat it as one large area. And so I'm putting my colour in. I'm not going in too heavy because what will happen is eventually this paper will say, I can't take any more of your pencil, and you won't be able to make it any darker. So you don't want to go in full guns blazing from the first. You just want to press lightly, and then you can always go back and add more if you want to. Now I'm going in with my darker colour, which is called magenta, although it doesn't seem very magenta-ish to me, but there we are. And I'm just adding more shadow, same places but not going out quite as far. So as you can see, I'm going quite quickly. I'm not giving it too much thought. It's quite an easy technique and you can't really go wrong. Just think about where the shadow is. So for example, where this hat folds over, there'll be a shadow just above it, so I put some shadow there. And if we want to really sort of double down on that shadow, which is always a good thing, I've got my good old grey pencil here, which is called charcoal grey. Excuse me. And I'm just finishing off by adding some of that in the very darkest areas. And the darkest areas will be where the shape of the character excuse me, sorry, is disappearing sort of away from the front of the picture. So the hat is going round and away like that. So these areas here will be the darkest. Also, if there's something in front of any area of your picture, that will also be in shadow. So the front will be the light bit, the back will be the dark bit. Now I do want to bring in some extra highlights, so I'm coming in with my faithful charcoal white pencil. This is, as I mentioned before, not part of the Castle Arts pencil, it's a separate purchase, and I got mine just by looking up charcoal white pencils on Amazon, and you will find a whole selection of them. And the reason why I find them so useful is because you can control what you're putting down, but also you can get a soft highlight rather than a harsh highlight that you might get with a gel pen. So I've added those there just to bring some extra highlight, and if I want to go even further, I can come in on top of that with my gel pen, which I've got here, and just add even more. And I can smudge that a little bit, but it will come out stronger. So I've kind of got a double layer of highlight there. So that was very quick and easy to do. I'm now going to go and do the same with my little jumper down here. So starting off with my lighter colour, which I nearly went wrong there. There we go, number 3. I'm just going to go over the whole area because I don't need to worry about blending my alcohol colours too much, so I can do it all in one go. There we go. So that's the light colour done. And now the darker red. So again, thinking about where the shadow is going to go. Again, you don't have to be too scientific about it. You just want to get some light and some dark areas in there. So I've basically done the edges of the sleeve, under the neck here, in between the arms because it would be very dark there, and the edges of the sleeves again on the side. And then it's time to come in with my pencils. So just quickly to pause, this is just with the alcohol pens, and this is when we've added the pencil. So you can see that you get quite a lot of difference in terms of texture and depth when you start adding these pencils on. So it's well worth doing it. And you know, it's not stressy really. It's just quite a nice relaxing thing to do, because you're just adding a little bit here and there. So again, I'm just going round certain areas, following the guide that I created with my dark alcohol pen, just basically deepening the shadow. So I start with my lighter red, carry on with my darker red, but don't take it quite so far. And this will be done in a jiffy. And all of those colours work together and on top of each other to create a sort of rich feeling. And I'm just going with my grey now. Now I have put down quite a lot of pencil, so it's not going to take too much more, to be fair, but that's fine. And then we bring it back to life again with a little bit of highlight on those very top areas. So starting with my little pencil, and actually in the case of the jumper I think that will be quite enough. So let's zoom out. And there we have our little rabbits. Now I'm just going to try putting the light on because it's getting a bit dark, so bear with me a second. There we are, that's a bit better I think, so we can carry on and hopefully get some more done on this lovely little image. So our main characters are done now. Let's add a little bit of sky around the edge. Now I did this technique on a previous card that I made, and basically I'm just going to do a dotting technique using 2 shades of blue, and I want them to be very pale, so I'm going for 143 and 144, and I'm going to start off with my palest colour 143, and I'm going to use circular motions around the edge of my image, just creating a random area of blue. And it doesn't matter if there's gaps. You can see there it's looking quite sketchy. I don't want a solid line, I just want kind of like a whimsy scribble, so I'm just doing circular motions and coming in and out. Now I would say that because we've already coloured our characters, if you're doing it in the same order as me, just be very careful about the red, because the red can have a tendency to bleed a little bit. But as you can see, this is coming together very quickly. We're not going to colour in the whole sky, we're just going to give an impression. So now we've got that edge there, I hope you can see it. It's very pale. I'm going to use the same pen and just add dots to break up that edge even more, and just to spread that sky out a little bit. So again, like with everything here, I'm not trying to overthink it. I'm just letting the pen do what it's going to do. I'm not worrying about covering over the snowflakes either. What I am doing is just bringing those dots out more towards the base, just so that the sky meets the ground. And then I'm going to pick up my darker blue, which is still very pale. This one is number 144 from the Chenrui, and I'm going to start to add dots again, but this time starting close to the actual characters and then fading out again. And what you'll find is that it will look dark to start with, but then it will just fade out and merge with what we've already got. So you can see this is a very, very quick technique. I'm not worrying about what leaves are in the way or anything like that. I'm just dotting away. Take some of them out beyond the original area. And there we have our dots. And then we're just going to add finally a little bit more shade around our actual character. And this time I've got CG3, a cool grey. And I'm just coming in with dots just at the very closest parts of the character. So hopefully you can see that. Again, if you're not sure about this, you can go with a slightly lighter colour, which could be CG2. But what you will find, in the end, it will fade a little bit, but it will also add depth. and help your characters just to pop out a little bit from that background that we've created. Carrying on to the other side now. And the dots are going to come out different sizes and shapes and all sorts, so just go with the flow. Trust in the process. There we are. So now we've got like a speckly background which shows the sky behind without being too intrusive on our main characters. And what you can do, if you're worried about your snow drops, you can go over them with your white pencil or white pen, but actually I find that if they're covered with a little bit of shadow from these blues, it actually makes them more part of the picture. Kind of, you don't want bright white orbs necessarily. So for me, that's working really well. We now need to go on to our snow, and I think we'll probably start using the same colours. So I'm going to start with my 143. And again, what we're doing is we're colouring the shadows, not the actual white of the snow. So I'm just colouring and scribbling, and I'm just going to give the impression of there's some snow drifts going on here, just randomly. And that's really all we need. And once again, I'm going to get some grey and add shadow. So now I'm coming in with a touch of that same grey, CG3, just to create shadow at the base. And this might look very harsh to start with, but I can go back over it with my blue. And what I can also do is bring in CG2, which is slightly lighter, just dot that away and break it up. Just extending to create extra texture. Once again, back to my pale blue 143. I'm just going to go run over the top of all of that, just to create more of a blend. And there we have our completed image, complete with snowy foreground and beautifully coloured rabbits. That's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.